right. It says I am live. Hello, good morning. Beautiful world. Hello, hello. I'm Kirsten Peck again here in my beautiful garden in Kamui, Puerto Rico. Hello. Let me let this thing click on for a second. I am here this morning talking about the topic of the day, the best day ever. And that's really hard to say because, frankly, every day is fantastic. I live out here in my paradise. I've named it the Oasis de Artes. I'm up in Kamui, Puerto Rico. But best day ever, I'm going to say today, June 20th, is the solstice. And so I'm going to talk a little bit of history and a little bit of earth magic today. It's Earth Magic Day. So, yes, the solstice. Okay, here's the history, or rather the science of the solstice. And I just love it because the Earth is a giant planet in the universe, hurling through space, millions of miles an hour, going through the universe, floating around with all these other planets and stars and cosmic, all that stuff that's just so big, out of space and just so big. And yet it's proving that we're true. The Webb telescope and the science is just fascinating to me. Okay, so the solstice. The science, twice a year on the solstice, there's a winter one and a summer one, the Earth stops and pivots and then moves on. And when you think about that as a scientific fact, that if a ball is in motion, it is going to have to reach something or hit something that's going to make it change in its direction, change in its force. There's going to have to be a shift. Otherwise, that ball just keeps rolling down that hill, right? And so to explain it, that it kind of has to stop to then shift is really an interesting idea. And throughout history, this scientific idea of the Earth stopping and pivoting has been recognized throughout the ages. They built Stonehenge up in England. They think it was built thousands and thousands of years ago. And this whole trying to understand our universe, and that mankind has always tried to figure out what's going on in the universe because it helps explain what we're doing here. What am I here for? And that man has this need to have some sort of understanding. And so the solstice is, to me, one of those days. It's like New Year's Eve. It's an arbitrary, somebody said, let's make it this. And yet it's been that way for so long that the tradition just keeps going. And after centuries and thousands of years, you have to say, yeah, the solstice is kind of a thing. And the winter solstice, when it again stops to pivot, it turns to winter. And so the whole Earth shifts in its energy from fall of closing and old to then winter of it being dormant so that it can regenerate back to spring and back to now we're kicking into summer. And so when we're talking about finding your purpose in life, or what makes life the best life you could ever have, the best days, knowing in yourself what your values are, what makes you happy, what makes you tick. Because if you like being outside, you need to go outside. And if you really don't like it outside, if you really prefer it cool and quiet and contained and not environmental, take that as a positive situation and a positive strength to then build on and show how positive you can be, right? And so, hi, I've got people saying good morning to me. Hello, good morning. Thank you for joining me. It's Saturday morning. I'm a little early today, but I want to talk about here finding your purpose and back to this being true to who you are. And the big history of the solstice and the globe and the equator and how the rings are set up on the equator with the latitude and the longitude, all of those scientific things, so I'm going to pick up my globe here, are fascinating to me. And so that's what I'm doing here in my garden every day, because that's what I wanted my life to be like. So let me have a moment. Thank you. I appreciate that. Positivity, it makes people happy. Appreciate it. A little history moment here. Okay, why I love Toussaint Louverture. You saw the picture in the startup of this. I love this story because Toussaint Louverture was born a slave in Haiti, in Santo Domingo, back in the 1700s. He was a slave. During the time, the French colonial occupation of France in the island of Haiti, and Toussaint was an older gentleman. He was maybe 50 years old. He started making deals with British ship captains and Spanish ship captains. So he started making deals, and he led the slaves in a rebellion against the French occupation of Napoleon Bonaparte. People saying hi. No one should be slaves. Absolutely. And so can you imagine this man, himself the slave, organized his people, got resources to help them, and overthrew the French Napoleon Bonaparte, 1804. They ended up capturing Toussaint. As a horrible story. He ended up dying in a prison in France because it was an ongoing battle. It took years after his death for them to actually get freedom and their own recognized government set up and established, but that they were able to do it back in the 1800s, 1804, 1800. So for 4 or 5 years, the slave people, the local people in Haiti fought against the French to get them out of the country. And since then, the United States didn't even recognize them for another 50 years. It took Abraham Lincoln 1862 to actually recognize Haiti as a country. They're the second country recognized in the northern continent here. And yet we continue to ignore Haiti. And that has been my problem. I have been fighting against this one for decades. I went to Haiti after their earthquake because I had to see it. I had to go see it. I know, I've seen it. I've been there. And that this is the reason why I have to tell people, your spirit, your roots make you strong, make you invincible. Anything you can do comes from your brain, comes from your heart. And working those two things together is like superpower. And so if school didn't really do that for you, I understand a lot of people are struggling. And I'm back here. I got called sort of out of retirement. I tried to retire. I'm supposed to be goofing off. I want to be painting. And I can't because I keep hearing all these problems and I keep seeing things that are like, this is just, it's mindset. It's stop chasing stuff that's not going to make you happy. And the more time people do this, the more we're dumbing ourselves. So it's like my desperate plea, and I'm calling on Haiti out of there. Yeah, and I live in Puerto Rico. I came here because this isn't right. This here in Puerto Rico isn't right. That's why I'm here. It's serious. This is real. And I'm like the same person that's the teacher I have the reading skills. It's very simple. I can talk to you in like 10, 15 minutes, kind of like a diagnostic teacher would. Just listening to people talk, and I can see where their gaps are. And it's not being mean. I'm not being judgmental. I'm trying to be helpful. So again, best day ever. It's today, the solstice. Let me pull this back. Focus. Take notes. Focus. Okay, here's why. Back to my notes, the solstice. It's tonight. Actually, it's tonight. 4:24 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time. So here where I am, 4:24 a.m. tonight. In the middle of the night. The earth is going to stop and pivot to go into summer. And I think that's the coolest thing. I just think that's so cool. And 4:24 tonight, set your alarms, get up, see if you feel it, see if something happens. I'm always curious about this. I love the solstice. Best day ever. Bring art into your life, magic, creativity, your brain power, your spirit. You can find your purpose and have a spectacular life. I can do it. You can do it. Okay, gotta go. Thank you. Someone asked me what's happening. Check the stream. You missed it. Check it out. Love you. Subscribe. Come back tomorrow. Okay, bye. Have a great day. Bye.